let me confess to you that I didn't really ask myself what could possibly go wrong, because at the time, now 50 years ago, we were just trying to make it work. Just figuring out how to make something like this work and to scale was hard. On the other hand, and I think if I were really, really worried at that time, I'm not sure how far we would have gotten. So we just pushed ahead ignorantly. But at the time, the people who were using the system were kind of uniform. It was mostly just engineers. And most of them were trying to make it work as opposed to trying to interfere with anything. But I will say that even very early on in the history, we started to see some of the social dynamics. Electronic mail was invented in 1971. And so those of us who were around, including me, were using it because it was a really helpful tool. It let us work across multiple time zones. I could send you a message while you were asleep, and you could respond while I'm asleep. And so we were able to work together in spite of the fact that we weren't awake at the same time. And I used to think that meant that we wouldn't have to travel anymore because, you know, we had this email. Well, I was wrong about that. In fact, the travel budget went up because we could work across multiple time zones, so more people were involved in the project. But when they did have to get together, they had to travel for a longer distance, so the travel budget went up instead of down. I remember being puzzled at that. As time has gone on, though, it's very clear that we need to understand the social and economic impact of these technologies. And we need to be aware of the fact that we need to know that. And so today, that's why I would argue we need economists and psychologists and neuroscientists to help us understand what the impact is of these technologies on our societies. So we still have work to do.